Recently, a lot of Sonic merchandise has been released over the past year. Wave 2 of the Jakks-Pacific Sonic action figure line was released, with Wave 3 soon releasing. And now, we're seeing more products revolving around the Sonic movie. These are all great, and with more merchandise on the way, what's not to get excited about? However, today I wanted to review one specific product that I personally feel like it was overshadowed for a long time now. This product was in collaboration between two companies. That's right, both SEGA and Hasbro have teamed up together, and they put both of their biggest brands together for one spectacular board game. That board game being the Monopoly Gamer Sonic Edition. This isn't the first time for Hasbro collaborating with video game products. Heck, there are two other Monopoly board games that were indeed Sonic branded. That's besides the point. A new Monopoly line was released, that being Monopoly Gamer. Now, Monopoly Gamer for a while used to only deal with Mario and Overwatch. So when they released another Sonic the Hedgehog board game under this new product line, it was a breath of fresh air. So with that out of the way, let's finally dive into the actual product. Looking at the front of the package, we see renders of the playable characters, those being Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles. On the right, you'll find the tokens of these characters on display. We'll talk more about these later. Here on all sides, it's just the Sonic and Monopoly logo. On the back, you'll see much more details and information on what you're getting yourself into. All the cards, characters, currency, and of course the board is shown here. This is a pretty well made package to say the least. On the inside, you immediately find two separate dies. The first one is just a regular die, except this time around it's numbered 2 through 7 instead of 1 through 6. The other die you'll find is blank, and you'll need to put on some stickers that came along with the board game, of which I already did. You'll also find cards, the character tokens, the manual, a cardboard full of rings, Chaos Emeralds, the Master Emerald, the Chows, and of course, the board itself. Already, the board to me is a positive spotlight, but will that hold out for long? All of the characters look really well made. However, due to their size, you can expect for them to have some missing paint jobs. Still, they got most of the essentials right. The cardboard cutouts are thick enough so that they don't bend, but are too tiny in my opinion. The cards in general look and feel high quality. You also can't have a Monopoly game without property cards. These properties represent different zones and acts found in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Finally, the board itself. Let me just say that this looks phenomenal. I am sure many Sonic fans are going to be happy with how it's presented. Speaking of which, if you haven't noticed, all the zones here are taken from Sonic Generations. That is completely understandable, seeing how that's the game where a lot of iconic zones from classic and modern era are represented. The only zone from that game that's missing is Crisis City. Then again, why would you want to buy a city in flames? There are a lot of similarities and differences between regular Monopoly and the Sonic Monopoly. One major difference to point out is that you'll need to collect points rather than just picking up rings and properties. That's not saying they aren't important, because they do count as points. Other ways of achieving points is through participating boss battles. Boss battle is activated when a player passes through Go. From there, the player who activated the battle collects 2 rings and picks a sidekick. If the boss is defeated, the person who activated the battle gets the boss card and a Chaos Emerald, while the sidekick gets to pick a Chow. All 3 are worth points. A few other changes also include each character having their own unique ability. You can even lose and drop rings for other players to collect, similar to the games. The final major change to point out is that you can only raise your property's price once you have all 2 acts of the same zone. Once all 8 bosses have been encountered, the game is over, and everyone adds up their points to see who won. It has a lot of elements that can satisfy both casual and hardcore Sonic fans. New and old elements that borrow from the Sonic the Hedgehog series and past Monopoly board games work really well together. You'll need to use different strategies for the best outcome. just be careful of Lady Luck. This is of course a more fast-paced Monopoly board game compared to past products, and that's not an entirely bad thing. However, a lot of elements from past products have been either replaced or removed because they didn't fit the pace of the game. The only negative I have is that there are only 4 playable characters. I hope in the future they add more tokens like the rest of Team Rose, Team Chaotix, and maybe even add Silver and Blaze. I bring this up because both Super Mario and the Mario Kart board games have extra tokens that you can buy separately. Despite that, I can definitely see myself enjoying this game for a long time, and compared to other iterations of Monopoly Sonic the Hedgehog, this is the best version you can pick up. So, my final score? A solid 4.5 out of 5. That's it for this video. If you have any questions about the board game, ask me over at Twitter, my handle being @JanicFilms. I will leave a link in the description. Lastly, make sure to subscribe if you're into Sonic content. Your support means a lot to me. Thanks for watching.